Good morning, everyone. It's Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up. And it's Thursday, September 23rd at 10 o'clock. So it is time for Coffee and Cards. And you know the routine. If you are on with me, give me a shout out, a like, or a love. Let me know you're here. It's just now 10. My clock just started chiming. So I know we're good. I'm going to go share this. Oh, that's not it. Oh my goodness. Good morning, Carol. How are you? Well, I just lost comments. Oh, wait, there we go. Hey, Sheila. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I was working last night and I saw that Facebook is moving me into the new business world, if you will. So lots of things are different this morning on my screen. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a place I can share this. And it really doesn't look like there is anymore. That's so helpful. All right. Well, hopefully if you're watching on the VIP page, you're going to come over here because I'm going to have to figure out where they hid that button. But how's everyone on this lovely rainy day in South Central Pennsylvania? Holy cow, anybody building the ark yet? Telling you, we were watching the 11 o'clock news last night and it said like we were in the area for just under 5 inches of rain this morning, and Carlisle was, which is a town close to us, is like 6 inches, a little under 6 inches of rain. So I'd like to send some of that to some of the folks out west. How about that? Because that's a lot of rain. I imagine my husband's pond that he put in this summer may be overflowing by the end of it. I don't know, but we'll see. Hey, Valerie. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. And I don't know, I mean, my internet's up right now. We're going to hope that it stays up, but you know, when it rains, sometimes that's not always my best scenario. My husband said last night that he wants to move our cell phones to Comcast. And I'm like, oh no, no, then I'll never be able to go live again. I have enough problems with the internet connection, let alone having my phones through them, right? Oh my goodness. All right. So what do we want to talk about? We want to talk about those cards that we did on Monday night for the special edition of Come Stamp Along With Me. Good morning, Dawn. And guess what, guys? It'll be Monday night again this coming week because I'll just be getting back from retreat again. Then I should be no more retreats until the spring. So yeah, but yeah, so come stamp along with me. It will be another Monday night edition coming up here this coming weekend. We will not be doing it Sunday night. So these are the cards in case you missed them. Okay, this is a gatefold explosion card that we did. So cute. I love that paper. And then we did the double flap easel card. And it opens up like that. And then you can prop it and it sits up. And the winner of these, oh, thanks. Yeah, it turned out a little lighter than I thought, but I think it's perfect for fall. And since we just had our first day of fall, I'm a fall girl. I've told you all that. So I am loving that we are going to have some cooler temperatures and crisp nights to sit out by our fire and all that. Okay, so the winner of these is Christy Newton. Christy, I don't know if I saw you come on or not, but you are the winner. So congratulations on that. And you get to tell me whether you want the bright silver or the dark silver sample. That's kind of funny because you were with me when I created these. But anyway, let me know. And then I will either get these to you if I'm going to see you, or I'll hold them for you for club. Okay. All right. So that is the winner of those. There is a week left to place an order to earn September's card kits. These are the just cards for this month. There will be an in-person edition class for these if you earn these, as well as a long distance option, as there's always been, right? We've always had the long distance option. And of course you can purchase the class for $12 and then postage if we're mailing, whether they're earned or purchased, okay? And that runs, well, the postage just went up, so it's running about $3.40 now. Okay, so those end on September 30th, and then I'll have a whole new group to share with you, as well as there is a new Christmas Stamp-A-Stack coming for October. So that's going to be in my newsletter that's coming out later today. And of course, we only have 1 week left of celebration. So if you've not gotten all the fun things out of this mini catalog that you wanted, now is the time, right? $50 qualifying order. The only thing that I noticed that was gone is the bedazzled paper, which I think I mentioned that before. The penguin paper was still available as of last night. I put an order in last night. The beautifully penned paper was still available. I think the deer paper is still available. Good morning, Ashley. Hi, Thelma. Hi, Donna. I think this is still available. I tried to put it in, not on my website, not where you go to order, but a demonstrator website that we use, and it came up not available. But then last night I saw that it was showing up in the online store. So hopefully the Peaceful Prints paper is still available. Of course, the sheep and the sheep dyes, which I'm stunned, are still available. Thank you for sharing, ladies. I so appreciate that. This textures and frame is so cute. We're going to do something with that at the after party. The after party may go to November, just so you know, guys, because I was looking for a time to do it in October. And I said, October is my favorite month out of the year. And it is the month that goes by in a blink because I just run from the beginning to the end. The summer shadow dies, which you know I love. And then, of course, the Dahlia set is still available as well. And the In Your Word stamp set, if you have a $300 order yourself, if you have a $300 book party. I don't think I can get a virtual party in for you at this point, but you can still earn the In Your Word set. That is fabulous. And I may or may not have one to give away during the celebration after party for those of you that have earned it. And several of you have already. So thank you for that. There's still time to get in on that. That's going to be a lot of fun. We do those after every celebration. It's always a great time. I show you even more ideas to use the celebration products on. And of course, if you place a minimum qualifying $50 order, not only do you get the free celebration item, but you'll also get the just cards that I just shared with you for September. So that's a great time. If you have a $300 order yourself, though, you really ought to think about that kit deal, right? Where you get the 125 plus the free bundle for $99 plus tax, because Stamping Up even picks up the shipping. Hey, Betty, thank you. Thank you guys for sharing. That's awesome. All right, so today we're going to play with celebration sets because it's the end, right? And I have some really cool projects here that I want to share with you. And then I have a special deal for you at the end. So make sure you hang in with me till the very end, okay? So we're going to start with one of my favorites, and that is the Summer Shadow Dies. I love black and white. And when you add that, just that pop of color, right? It just takes it to a whole new level. And of course, this is our white glimmer or glitter ribbon, if you will, on here. And this is our beautifully penned designer series paper. So we've got two celebration products working on this one. I'm going to show you what all I used on it, and then we're going to make the card. So the happy anniversary and the greeting on the inside, hope your day is full of love, laughter, and joy, comes from many messages. And I know, I'm pretty sure all of you that are on know this, but I actually cut up, I bought two stamp sets and I cut the one up. I put the label on first. I'm not sure if I've ever said that before. I did put the label on first and then I cut it. I used my craft and rubber. We used to sell them when we had to cut our stamps out of the rubber sheets. Boy, one of the best things they ever did was do that die cutting, for us, so that we just punch them out. But I will tell you, and you can see it, like sometimes it's really close, right? So you do have to look on the back side before you cut, because sometimes that label is just really close to the edge of where the greeting is. Hi, Emmy. All right, so we used the many messages. We used Elegantly Said for the happy anniversary. Okay, that's a really pretty font. And then of course, Shaded Summer is the other stamp set and the dies that we use. And these are the dies that you get with a $100 celebration purchase, right? I've got all my extra pieces in here. It's always such a nice surprise when I go to make something and I go to a die cut and I'm like, oh, look, I can use that and that. I don't have to do that. So I love this set. I love the flowers in it. Of course, it cuts out the stamped images from Shaded Summer. All three of those are cut out. And then you have extra flowers and extra leaves. So that is an awesome set. Pull this one out a while. Oh, I've already packed my magnetic bowl. Oh, I got the coolest thing, guys. I have to show it to you. Because we were at retreat and everybody saw my magnetic bowl. And of course, then one of the things that we do at retreat is we order off of Amazon. At Amazon, it shows up at least once while we're at Retreat House, sometimes 2 or 3 times, depending on how the weekend goes. But yeah, I'll show that to you. Don't let me forget at the end. All right, so, and then I use Tasteful Textile embossing folder on the background behind the flower, just to give it a little bit more interest, if you will, and depth. I really wish that we had another kind of generic background embossing folder. Now I love the wintry for the Christmas cards and even for winter cards, but we don't really have a whole lot for just every day. So timeless, Tasteful Textile. I always say timeless. Tasteful Textile is the winner here. And we are going to go ahead and mount our beautifully penned paper with our Poppy Parade. So if you thought it was real red, I fooled you. It's actually Poppy Parade. Oops. Okay, am I out? No, I'm not out. There we go. So I'm just going to run that strip right along the edge. Try to make it even, right? As far as how much of the Poppy Parade is showing. That looks pretty good. And then I can mount this to the edge of my card. That's going to go tight up to the edge. Okay, we're not leaving any white showing. And then before we mount that, we're going to grab our pretty ribbon here. And you know what, to help me hold this, because it is raining and my fingers are hurting today, we're going to just lay a little bit of adhesive back there. And then that'll hold it in place to help me when I go to tie it. I'll bring that over just a little bit. I would like that more centered, I think. So it's a great weekend to be going to retreat, except for the unloading part. I'm going to take a picture, although it's not going to be as bad because God love my husband. He's coming down tonight to help one of my friends with her computer. And he's going to bring my stand for me because I have a hard time getting my stand in my car. So 3 times the charm, right? Yes, it is. But my car will be packed like crazy. So, and this one I'm always packed heavier for because I am the leader of this one. So I do fun things at my retreat. We do pillow gifts, we do bingo. I try to spoil my attendees. So, all right, so we're going to put that on there. I made that extra long, but that's okay. We'll trim that off. Now, you do know, I'm sure you do, that you can color this ribbon with our blends, right? The only tip that I want to give you, trim that even just a little bit more. There we go. The only tip I want to give you, that one side of this ribbon is a little more sparkly than the other side. So it has a right and a wrong side. The right side is facing you when it's on the roll. So when you take it off the roll, of course, the right side is the side that curves under. Flip it over if you're going to color it and use this side as your coloring side, the back side, if you will, and use the side of your blend, the brush tip, not the bullet tip, And the reason I tell you that is twofold. One, you will dull the sparkle if you color right over the glitter. And two, you will help your blend pen last blender, not the blends. You will help the blends last longer if you're not going against that rough glitter. Okay, the rough glitter will definitely break down your brush tip. And again, don't use the point of your tip, use the side of your tip to color. That way you will protect your blend as long as possible. And then just set it aside while you work on another aspect of the card, and it will be dry in seconds, because again, it's alcohol based, and therefore it is it dries almost immediately. All right, so we're going to mount this to our card front. And we have our inside piece that we'll go ahead and stamp. I did that in Poppy Parade for the inside. Thank you, Emmy. I'm good. How are you, my friend? Emmy and I got to meet via the phone the other day, which was so fun. So I always work lightest to darkest. I'm not really sure. This is Granny Apple Green. This is Poppy Parade. They're both probably about the same shade. And these are the Stampin' Write markers. So just when you think I have the blends, I don't need the Stampin' Write markers, I'm going to show you why you do. Because we're going to color right on our stamp. This is how you get a multicolor stamped image, right? I'm using, again, on this type of marker, I'm also using the brush tip. I'm also using the side of it. Okay, never the point. You want to preserve your points for as long as possible. If you're a heavy color, if you like to color a lot, it will eventually wear down on you. And then you can make the decision whether you want to nip it off so that you kind of have a different type of a point, a different type of angle, more blunt maybe, and keep using the marker, or if it's time to invest in some more markers. Unfortunately, we do not sell these individually. We do sell them in families. So I've done all the green. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Got to get this little guy up here. Just that little portion of stem, and then around the bottom of the bud. Okay. Then we're going to come back in and we're going to color the flowers with the Poppy Parade. All right, got to take the glasses off. Again, always the side of your marker, even on these wide spaces, right? Just use the side to color that. I just got red on the stem. Let's see if I can take that off and then come back in with my Granny Apple Green in that little spot. All right, so. Oh, I said I was going to do the greeting and then I moved to the markers, didn't I? Oh, you vey. My brain is going in about 20 directions at one time. It's a little scary to be inside my head these days. Just because I was much more organized for my girlfriend's retreat than I am for this one for some reason, but I think it's because I came home with only part of my stuff. Because since I was going to be back down there this weekend and nobody was going to be in between, the lady that owns the house allowed me to leave some stuff there. And so now I'm a little scattered, like, okay, where is this? Oh, maybe it's down there. I don't have to worry about it. All right, and then I just got a piece of scrap paper here that we're going to stamp this on. Now, I am breathing. I know you can't see that, but I just breathed all over the inked side of the stamp. The moisture from my breath reactivates the ink. If any of it did in fact get a little dry while I was coloring the rest of it. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. I love doing that technique. It's so much fun. And of course, the benefit of Stampin' Up! Is we have the ink pads, we have the blends, we have the Stampin' Write markers that all color coordinate along with our cardstock and our designer paper. Everything color coordinates with Stampin' Up! So it makes it really easy if you're just starting out with stamping. It makes it really easy to have product or have projects turn out so beautifully coordinated, right? So I did cheat ahead of time and I did die cut one, so I'll save that one for the next time. And I'm going to lay that right there. And now we're going to go do greetings. So bring my copy parade back out. And my greeting. And this says, hoping your day is full of love, laughter, and joy, which I think could be used not only for anniversary, but for birthday, right? And I caught an edge. Oh, so we're going to take our finger and now we're going to have ink on our hand. So that's why we wear jeans because I'm rubbing my hand on my jeans. When I actually am out at workshops or parties or library classes or wherever I am, I wear my apron, and they made our aprons black. And you know why? Because then we can wipe our hands when we get ink on them. Hey, Carol, thank you. Thank you. Hi, Carol Kaufman. Oh, thanks, Ashley. I do love this. I mean, I'm telling you guys, I love this Summer Shadow dies and the shaded summer stamp set. That's a great, great product bundle. All right, we're also going to do our happy anniversary while we're here. And again, that comes from Elegantly Said. And me and my grid paper, right, trying to line it up. It's an optical illusion, but I thought that was like almost a quarter of an inch smaller, but it's not. Hopefully my head does not get in the way. This is, you know what? There's no way I'm going to see that white edge on white paper. So let's do this. This is not the happy anniversary that I used. That's the problem. Well, let's see if it's in. It is. Never mind. Ignore that I told you it was Elegantly Said, because it is from Many Messages. Let's try that one. That's why it looks like it's not going to fit, because it wouldn't. We'll put that one away then later. Oh, this is going to be much easier to line up. Going, I don't think I can do this morning. All right. I'm still not sure I can do this morning, but we're going to give it a shot. We have two sides. That's a little high. We'll do the other side and see which one we like better, right? Hey, I mentioned when I first came on that they're starting to migrate me on Facebook, looks like, based upon some activities yesterday and some of the things that were not where they're normally at this morning. Oh, that one's better. So just a reminder, if you have liked my page, but you have not clicked the follow button and you want to keep watching my videos, make sure you click that follow button too, because evidently liking of the page, not liking of like the project or the comments or on the video itself, those likes will still help. But liking just the page overall is eventually going to go away, is what I have been told by our tech guru. So make sure you do all that. Okay, so now we're going to put the rest of it together. This is on flat, so we're just going to use our seal for our greeting. Up there. And I'm going to keep that right there. Okay. And then this guy we're going to add dimensionals to. Let's bring my grid paper back in place. Grab me some dimensionals. And I'm probably going to end up using a combination of, well, maybe just large. And if you're watching me for the first time, or you weren't there when I did some Tuesday tips back in the day, you're seeing lines on my dimensionals. I draw these on with pen. It just helps when I'm working to know, okay, I have to pull the backing off, right? That one's done, these are not. So I'm not going back and trying to pull backing off of something that I already did, or worse yet, leaving a backing on, leaving the backing on and then mounting it and not being able to get your piece to lay the whole way down. All right, so we're going to put this right here. And then we're just going to embellish that with some of those amazing black matte dots. Oh, very nice. Very nice, Ashley. Yeah, it is a very nice font and a very nice inside greeting that coordinates with it as well. So I'm trying to decide, yes, they are the same size. And I need to take your pick tool. And I need to remember to pack this because I spent an entire week without my take your pick tool. And if you know me, you know that was traumatic. I was even mounting stamp sets and I didn't have my take your pick tool. It was horrible. So this will definitely make it into the box tonight, I think. Sadly, well, I need to order more. Let's see if this looks way too big up here because I think I used a small one when I designed it. Oh no, that looks okay. All right, and then we just have to put that into the inside. Yeah, I like that one too. Apparently that's the one I thought I was using today, and I was trying to pack my kits on Sunday as I was packing up my area down at the retreat house so that I would be sure not to leave anything I needed behind. I was going to leave a lot more down there. And then I went, you know what, it's just a little too scary with as much as I do online during the week. So I ended up just leaving my cardstock there because I knew I had one of every cardstock here at the house in my stash. So I knew I was safe there, but yeah, apparently I looked at that and saw. Okay, so there is our beautifully penned paper accent along with our summer shadow dies and shaded summer stamp set, and then the many messages greeting. So hopefully you like that one. I love black and white with the pop color. Poppy Parade is just a little bit different than Real Red. It's a little bit more orange. So, all right, so that's card number 1. Let's move to card number 2. Donna and I want to know about the button on Facebook. Okay, the button on Facebook. Oh, there you go. Betty, respond. I'm reading up now. There's a black item that looks like a folder next to the bell that allows you to follow or unfollow a page. Exactly. So yeah, you just click on that and that will allow you to follow the page. I don't know when the likes are going away, and I don't even know if they're migrating. Like, I think they're migrating people because I know I have some friends that have already been put into the business suite and I had not, and I was okay with that because I don't know what all's going to change. You know me and technology, not always my best friend, but yeah. So okay, so let's do project number 2. We are playing with the Delicate Dahlia. I love this set. This is probably one that's going to stay in my crafty stash for a while, just because I think it's so pretty. A little bit different. I usually do, very somber colors, dark tones, all that for sympathy, but someone said they like to do brights. So I thought, okay, well, let's do a bright sympathy card then to cheer someone up perhaps, right? So the Delicate Dahlia with the fresh freesia. This is the penguin paper, okay? So we have the Delicate Dahlia, which is free with a $100 order. And we have the penguin paper, which is free with a $50 order. So if you don't have both of those and you love this card, you can make sure to grab whichever one you may not have. And then soft seafoam is my background with a little bit of accent with the Misty Moonlight ink there for the greeting, because there's Misty Moonlight in the dots. All right, so let's put this one together. Basic thick white, which I have scored at 5.5. Hang on. We're just going to rub the bone folder over that to give that a nice sharp crease. We're going to bring in soft seafoam. It is unique, isn't it? I don't know. I wasn't sure, but I thought, well, I always like to try to respond to requests. So we are going to, and I'm trying to remember, so I'm going to, yeah, I definitely off-stamped, okay? Because I just wanted subtle. And I'm using the, sorry guys, I'm using the solid leaf, not the outline, just to create this very subtle background. This is called off-stamping or generation stamping. Okay, can you even see that on camera? I don't know if you can or not, maybe. I'll hold it up there. Okay, so we've got that. We're done with the soft sea foam. We're going to layer on our patterns. So if you don't think this makes a great sympathy card, you could absolutely use it as a birthday card, a thinking of you card. Any of those things would work. And then this one's going to come down right about there. If you hate covering up the opposite side of the designer paper because they're all so beautiful, then be sure to tune in Monday night at 8 for Come Stamp Along with me, because I have a fun card to share with you. And uh-oh, I had that stamp. I put that, oh, there it is. It's sticking to something in the box. We're going to go ahead and stamp our greeting on here. I know it's photopolymer, and I know that should make it really easy to make sure it's straight, but most times I like to test. And even then I went a little uphill, but that's okay. Yeah, it is very subtle. Yep. Very, very subtle. Okay, so let's lay that aside. And I've already cut with the layering circles, the Fresh Freesia oval. No, circle. Oh my God. My brain, people, I'm telling you. I want to put my greeting on the inside of this card before we mount it, because I can always flip it over if I mess it up, and then I put this on top and no one ever knows that we had a boo-boo, right? So we're going to pull back in the Misty Moonlight, and this says, thinking of you with sympathy and prayer. This is also from Many Messages. Apparently I was featuring that today too and didn't even realize it. Okay. The other thing I love about our ink pads and our rubber stamps is that you just have to tap the ink pad and then just set the rubber stamp down. You don't have to press, you don't have to move it around. It's awesome. It just gives you a nice crisp image. So we did really well there. I'm going to bring that bone folder back because I feel like I didn't crease that very well. There we go. When I'm lazy, I just do it with my fingernails, but I always can tell the difference from the bone folder to the non-bone folder crease. All right, so now let's the fun begin. Fresh Freesia is our flower. Don't forget to like, share, love, comment, all of those fun things. This video to be entered into the drawing to win these beautiful cards. At least I think they're beautiful. And I'll be doing that drawing on Monday night. So we'll have a winner when we come live on Monday, or not, yeah, live on Monday night. And then Tuesday night, we're back together if you want to be, and I'll be on at 7:30 Tuesday night so that we can do our, yes, interactive stamping. That's the word I'm looking for. Love that image. I would be very happy with that image just by itself. I think that is beautiful. The detail in the distinctive stamps that Stampin' Up! Creates is amazing. It's just amazing. Now we're bringing in the Stamparatus. Because guys, I could try to do it without, but it probably wouldn't be very pretty. And we need our stamp case to, uh-oh. Okay, my power just flickered. So I'm going to tell you this now in case I lose you. And if I do, I will post the finished project on the third one. The special offer that I have for you, since we're in the last week of celebration, and I don't want you to miss out on the goodies, is Anyone who places a qualifying celebration order of $50 up to $100 this week. So starting today through September 30th, not only will you get the just cards, which is a typical thing for a minimum $25 order, you will receive a PDF of the 3 projects that I'm doing today, absolutely free. And then if your qualifying order is $100, you're going to receive the just cards, the free PDF, and you're going to receive 10 cards from my stash, 10 already completed cards from my stash. So keep that in mind, put those orders in. If you think you're close to qualifying for the after party and you want to make sure you're there with us, let me know. I will do my best to look that up for you and respond to you over the weekend. Okay. I'm not going to be a whole lot of in touch, but I will try to do that so that you know if you have qualified for the after party too, because that may dictate how much you want to place an order for. All right. So now we're going to line this up. She says, hopefully, no. No. But there are a couple of tricks I will tell you on how to line this up. You are looking for something unique on the stamp. Something unique that says, okay, I'm going to marry up to, I'm sorry, my voice is being really funny here right now. I'm going to marry up to one of these images. You've got some, you know, like this guy's got a fat one with a little skinny one sticking off of him. And that may be, I don't have anything dark around here. Oh, here. I don't know if this helps or not. But there is a fat one here with this little guy sticking off the edge. So we're going to start with that and see if that lines up for us. And you're probably going to see my head because there's no way I can do this from a distance. Boy, that did line up for us. Look at that. Now, I am not so crazy about it that if it's off slightly, I'm going to lose sleep over it. But I think that looks pretty good. Or it could just be my eyes. We're going to find out. That is the problem with the photopolymer stamp. Really hoping that stayed right where I wanted it. If not, it's definitely not going to line up perfectly, but that'll be okay. And it did shift a little bit, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. See how bad it is. We can always flip it over, right? 2 sides to every piece of paper. Let me grab my handy dandy whiteboard eraser. This does save my hands and my fingers. If you've got anything going on with your wrists or your fingers or your joints in your hands, oh, I'll take it. It moved the paper a little bit, but that's okay. I like that. We'll put the chamois to that in a little while. And we are going to cut that out with one of the layering circle dies. Kudos to my mama, because when she was here with me a couple of weeks ago, she got most of, there were a couple in kits I forgot about. She got most of my die sets mounted onto magnetic sheets for me. There's still a few that I'm not convinced I'll be keeping when they retire that I didn't do that with, but that was a huge help because that's one of those things that's always on my list to do, and I never have time to do it. So thanks to my mama for that. All right. Let me put this away because I've been known to. I just found, I don't know how long ago we did the picture this cards, but I found the iconic dies laying in the metal bowl over here that I had used when we made that card. And I'm like, oh, that would have, had I opened that up and tried to use it and they weren't there, I would have had a mini heart attack because I would have had no idea that they were still in the bowl. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and put that on with dimensional as well. Now, again, because this is a sympathy card, I did not do any embellishments in the center, although I was very tempted to put an opal. Oh no. I was very tempted to put the opal in the center of this just to give it a little something, but I didn't. But you absolutely could do that, especially if you're making it a birthday or a thinking of you card, right? Because again, this is not my normal style for sympathy cards. But imagine it as a birthday card. I love using the whiteboard. Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad it helps you. Yes, I love it too. And then this is going to go right here. And it's overlapping, of course, the polka dots. So there's project number 2. Okay. Hopefully you like that one. All right. I'm going to clean up my stamps here. Well, the good news is, at least where I got mine, like I got mine off of Amazon. They weren't very expensive. I think I got 2. Oh, thanks for the hearts, guys. I appreciate that. I think I got 2 for like $6, right? They're really, like, this one's not even plastic. Some of them have the plastic. This is like styrofoam. This backing is styrofoam and then just has the fuzzy, what would wipe the ink off the whiteboard. So, and it works just fine. There are some things that you invest in for your crafty stash, and there are some things that just have to get the job done. Hi, Nancy. Thank you. And for me, that's just something that has to get the job done. I heard somebody call the take your pick tool an unnecessary or a luxury purchase. I'm going for $10. That thing should be attached to my hand. That is a necessity in my studio. Oh my goodness, it was another demonstrator, and I thought, oh wow, no, I love my take your pick tool. I'm not sure I could do without that. All right, next and final card. So far, so good. We're holding on to the power here. I guess I just thought, well, I don't know what the weekend's supposed to be like. I guess I'll have to look at the weather, because I just thought I might want to pack more than the little flashlight, personal flashlight that I have in my makeup bag. And that's in there because of my mother too. Quick story, we went to we went to a convention one year, and I must have been flying out with one of my girlfriends from down there. And so I was staying at my mom and dad's, and my mom said to me about having a flashlight. I said, no, I didn't pack a flashlight. Well, I guess I must have gotten one, and I packed it. And that trip, I'm sitting in a restaurant in Utah, in Salt Lake City, Utah. And my upline comes in and goes, does anybody have a flashlight? Because the power just went out at the Shiloh. I'm like, I do. So there again, mom knows best. All right. How about this one? I'd love to send you some, Carol. I love this one. Okay, so this is the Feels Like Home set, right? And it is on page 6 in the Celebration catalog, and it has some really fun greetings, this beautiful image that I'm using, and then a little bit of a vine and a little potted plant. I love, love, love this. So I was intimidated by this stamp set, as I often am, because of all the coloring. And instead of using our blends, which you know is my color vehicle of choice, I'm using my watercolor pencils, because these get neglected, and they're really awesome to use. So when you use the watercolor pencils, you're either going to want our water painters, which, let me grab those because I didn't think to bring those over here. So you're either going to want to have our water painters or a blender pen, not a blend, but a blender pen. So these are the water painters. They come in a pack of 3. You've got a very fine tip, okay? And protect your brush tips at all costs, right? Then you have this medium tip. And then you have the wide base brush. This is the one that I used when we were doing the alcohol blend technique on vellum months ago, right? So this is great for doing a watercolor wash onto watercolor paper. It's perfect for the alcohol technique on the vellum. This is the hardest one to make sure you get all the bristles. Yeah, not happening. All the bristles down in the cap before you push it shut so you don't have anything bent backwards. And then they have a fill line. Why did I do that? Oh, no. Okay, that one is very snug on there. Oh, no, wait. Yes, they unscrew backwards. So typically it's righty tighty, lefty loosey. Yeah. So you open this up, you fill it with water or alcohol. This one actually has water in it. And there is a fill line right here, which I know you probably can't see on camera, but it's right about there on each one of the brush barrels. And so you don't fill it any more than that. Screw it back together. Yeah, the other right way. And then here on it, it has push. So when you want to get the water flowing, you just push on that section and it pushes it down through the barrel and out into the tip. I do love these for the right mediums. I tend to more often use my blender pen. I'll do that later. My blender pens when I am using my watercolor pencils. These are a little bit more controlled. They don't give you the full-on watercolor effect, but what they do is they smooth out the color, right? And they can even lighten it if you want to take color away. The way you clean these is you just scribble on your scrap paper until it runs clear, and then you're ready to use it in another color. So these are very handy as well. These also come in a pack of 3. Okay, who's got a catalog handy and can look up the blender pens and the water brushes for me and tell me what pages they are. These are both in the annual catalog, and I cannot remember. I'm not going to say because I'm guessing I'm going to be wrong. But if somebody can check that, otherwise I'll post it after the fact. But those are the 2 vehicles that you want to have handy when you're doing watercoloring. The other thing that you want to have is a good, small, cheap, page 129. All right, there we go. Thank you, Ashley. Good, cheap, mini, just handheld pencil sharpener. And I dedicate it. I don't use it for anything else. I don't use it to sharpen any other pencils because I don't want the normal, number 2 lead to get in with my watercolor pencils. So those are the 2 things that you want to have available to you when you're playing with watercolor pencils. We do have 2 sets. As you can see, we have our assortment 1, which was our first set, and it has 5, 10, 12 pencils in it. And then they came out with assortment 2, and that one has 10 pencils in it. So you have 22 pencils. We don't have them in all the colors, unfortunately. We keep asking. Not happened so far, but they are fun to play with, and they last you a really long time. Brick and mortar is my embossing folder on my basic white. Okay, so I've already done that. I'm going to go ahead and mount that on the card front. Cajun Craze for the base of our card because it goes with my designer series paper, which is, I believe, from Bloom Where You Were Planted. Yes, I'm sure that's Bloom Where You Were Planted. I'm going to get that centered in there. And then I have the piece for the inside, and I have the piece that we're going to stamp our image on. So I also, because this is going to be used with water, and we know that we go reverse, right? We do blends or alcohol. So we use Memento, which is a water-based ink, when we're stamping those images to color. And because we are going to be using water, we don't want to use Memento because it will just bleed it out. So we're using StazOn. StazOn is a solvent-based ink. So opposites attract in this case, right? And I'm really hoping, because that felt a little dry. So let's see what happens here. This would have been another good one to do on the Stamparatus in case it doesn't come out. Oh yeah, it was dry. Have no fear, I have a second one. Let's hope this one's not. I can already tell this one's going to be better because it has a maraschino cherry smell. So if you like maraschino cherries, you'll love StazOn. The minute somebody and this little plastic cover comes with it, and you want to make sure you keep that on there. Another trick is to put a dimensional right here in the center of it, or maybe one there and one here, and then press that into your lid and then put it on. And that way, when you take it up, and I have some of them like that, but apparently not this one, the lid, this plastic comes off with the lid and you don't have to get it on your fingers, right? Like I'm doing so effectively. All right, let's do this. Oh, look at that, beautiful. And then there is a special cleaner for the StazOn. You do want to make sure you, if you're using StazOn, you want to use that because it will protect your inks. And don't use StazOn with your photopolymer stamps. And if you do, clean it immediately, okay? All right, so I'm just going to play here a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and color this whole thing because guess what? I already did that for you. But we're going to and craze. Let's play with the brick here. Okay, so all you do is you color just like you were coloring with crayons or pencils or whatever. These are watercolor pencils, so I'm just going to color. You can do as much shading. Like after I was done with that, I thought, oh, I should have done more shading on the brick, and I still probably could go back and add some shading if I wanted to, but you're just going to color it. And when you do this, you'll notice that you can see the pencil marks in the coloring. That's one of the reasons for the watercolor brush and or the blender pen. I'm going to try to go in here between the bicycle elements because yes, we would see the brick through there. Okay, and then again, my preference is the blender pen. This pen has 2 points on it. So in a pack of 3, you have 6 different points. They are exactly the same size. I think it's just to give you the most value. If the pen starts to dry out, if you leave it lay with the cap off and the pen starts to dry out, then you want to switch to the other end if that still has the moisture in it. I don't know what the solution is that they use in it. Did you see? I just tried to put my, yeah. Perhaps the first thing at retreat should be sleep. All right, so I'm not gonna do a lot. I do want to show you though that you can also do some shading with your watercolor pencils. So I've got some crushed curry and let's see, do I have, let's find early espresso, that's black. Razzleberry, Calypso Coral, it's hiding. It's hiding. Maybe I didn't get it back in the right, or did I already pull it out? No, that's crushed curry. That one always fakes me out because I think it's, that one is gorgeous, great. So you can see they're marked. Not only do they have the name on them, but the tips are marked as well. Well, I'll have them all out. There he comes. He's one of my shorties because I use him a lot. But what I did on the baskets is I colored the whole thing with crushed curry. And then I just put some shading in just like I would with a blend, right? And then again, went back over that with my, to add a little highlight coming down the front of the basket and darken up the shadow areas. Okay, so hopefully that explains to you how to use the watercolor pencils. I'll put those away later, but I did already do one in advance, and I used some of the Daffodil Delight behind the windows to add a little depth to them. One thing I did notice, and I wanted to fix on this one, oh, that little early espresso mark or pencil is very elusive. It has vanished again. And I know, oh, there it is. I'm going to darken up the panels here a little bit. So I darkened up the frame, but I wanted the panels to be a little darker so they stood out a little bit more. But like I said, the pencil sharpener that I use, I think I probably picked it up like at Walmart or Target. And it's just one of those little plastic ones. There we go. Just one of those little plastic ones that I keep for just doing my watercolor pencils. All right, let's pull in for our greeting. And then we're going to use Cajun Craze. And this is a thank you card. Sure, I put on the in the kit 2 of these little strips in case I missed, and I hit that one dead on the first time. Thank you. I'm glad you like it, Marlene. I really do like this. I did a freebie Friday. If you're on my newsletter service, then you got my freebie Friday a couple of weeks ago using this set. That one I did color with blends, and I did the dotting technique, right? Because sometimes those trees, things like those trees can be a little intimidating. How in heaven's name are you going to color all those tiny little leaves? But the dotting technique really worked well. Well, apparently I cut this one short, so we're just going to put it in the center instead of edge to edge. And then we're going to pop this guy up on dimensionals. See, yeah, you were with me when I stamped that. Okay, so, but I do really like this set. And actually, I want to see if I have any of my realtor friends that might like cards for their clients when they buy their new home. Because wouldn't that be fun to get a handmade card from your realtor after you purchase your home? All right, and then the last thing I did, and I'm hoping that I grabbed the right stays on here, is just on the inside as an accent, because you know I leave my thank you cards blank. I didn't. We're gonna lay him somewhere separate so I remember to fill him, re-ink him. But I did the little potted plant in there. And you can leave that black and white, or again, you can come through and add a little bit of color. These images are small, so it's not going to take a whole lot of color, or time to color, I should say. And we'll bring in some old olive for the leaves. And then we have some Cajun Craze, so let's use that. And I'm going to put it on really heavy on the sides so that we just highlight the front of the pot. Okay. So I'm not even putting color on the center of the pot. I'm going to draw my color across so that that highlights and leaves the dark sides. Okay. And then you can just tap your other ones to make sure your pencil marks are smoothed out. And there we go. And you can take your, if you can find it again, early espresso, and ground your pot by putting a little bit of shadow underneath it, right? And we'll just smudge that out. So there we go. Okay, so that always grounds your images whenever you put a shadow under it. And we'll put that on the inside. And I colored, so I did bring my blends to this card, but only for the initiative of coloring some basic rhinestones. So I colored 2 basic rhinestones with the Calypso Coral blend. Oh dear. My take your pick tool has decided to leave. So we're going to use the point of our scissors and color them with the Calypso Coral blends. And then I just use them as an accent on the card. All right, there we go. There is the last project with Feels Like Home. Great, great set. Do not be intimidated by it. It's just paper, guys, paper and ink, right? So you can always start over if you don't like it. But I do think it makes a beautiful card. I do love it with that Bloom Where You're Planted designer series paper and then the brick wall behind the brick pattern paper. Yep, I can, and I will. I will, Thelma. So there we go. There are the 3 projects from today. So these are the 3 projects with a minimum $50 qualifying celebration order. You will receive the free PDF for these 3 projects. Okay, that will be emailed to you. If I do not have your email, make sure you send that to me so I can get that off to you. Probably not until next Monday or Tuesday, just because I'll be away. If your qualifying order is $100 or more, then you will receive the PDF for these 3 cards plus 10 additional handmade cards from my stash. Okay, it might be stuff you've seen me do online. It might be stuff I've done in my clubs or my classes or my other events. But they're all going to be complete for you. So you'll just be able to pop them in an envelope that you have and send them on their way. And in addition, both of those orders will also earn you the just cards for the month, right? So let's pull those back out one last time. Okay. You'll earn the kits for this along with a PDF to help you put them together. That's more of a visual PDF. And if you haven't qualified for the after party yet, you want to make sure you do, let me know. I can validate for you if you're there or if you still have some money to spend to get there, and that can help you get there as well, that offer. So there you go. That offer is good from now until September 30th. And then of course it goes away along with celebration. And that will be the last celebration for 2021. Our next one will be in well, I say this assuming it could change, but our next one should be in January and February of 2022. But again, shipping delays, I don't know if you're watching the news, but shipping delays and all that is just, it's hitting everyone. And I know that we're scrambling to try to figure out what we're going to do. So hopefully it'll all be good. And hopefully the world will soon get a little bit more back to normal when it comes to our supply chain. All right, guys, thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Don't forget, I am not live on Sunday night. I will be live on Monday. Sorry, my phone's ringing. And I'll be live on Monday night at 8. So be sure to come back and join me for Come Stamp Along with me. Tuesday night for our interactive stamping. That's going to be a lot of fun. And good heavens, then Saturday, I think, right? Saturday is World Card Making Day, October 2nd. And I'll be sending a newsletter out later today with all the details on what I'm doing that day. I hope you can join me for both of those events. They're all virtual. And yeah, we're just going to hang out together. Probably because I'm going to be live twice on Saturday. I won't do Come Stamp Along with me on Sunday night. But you'll get double me on Saturday if you can participate in both of those. Have a great weekend. Take care. Be safe. Stay dry if you're in our area. And I'll see you on Monday. Thanks, guys. Bye.